In this tutorial, we're talking about variables in Python. What are variables? Variables are containers, or you can just think of a variable as a container or a storage box that you store your data. And in real life now, you can have a container where you store toys, clothes, fruits. So now you can label this container as fruit to know that, okay, this container is used for storing fruit. So whenever you put your hand inside, you're bringing out a fruit. So now you use that label called fruit now, label fruit, to identify that this container is for fruit. So that's how variables work. Variable like you giving a name to a piece of data, so you can use this name to reference this data later on in your program. So I can have this age and set it to 25. So this is me telling the computer that anytime I reference age, or I'm trying to get the value of age, is going to give me 25, which is the data there. So if I should try to print out this age now, I'll be getting 25 on the terminal as a result. So now you can see that now we are getting 25 on the terminal as a result. So this is how variables work in Python. And how do you name variables in Python? You can see right there I wrote age, right? But there are 3 rules I must say you must follow when naming a variable, or you must know when you want to name a variable. And one is that your variable must start with a letter or an underscore. And okay, underscore is this symbol, and your letter can either be capital letter or small letter, that's uppercase or lowercase. So you must take note of this. Okay, and the second one is now complementing the first one is that it can contain a number. So which means you can say H2, H3. It can contain numbers, but must not start with numbers. But numbers can't come at the beginning. So you must take note of this. Come at the beginning. You must take note of these things. And now the last one you should know is that, okay, they are case sensitive. Okay, variable names are very case sensitive. I don't know if that's a word, but they are case sensitive actually. So you must always know that. So now I can say that, okay, I can see you can have each equals to 34, and I can have, now I'm starting with this with underscore, right? And I can have h2 equals to 3. I can have this, but I can have second age equals to 6. Now you can see that I'm getting this red symbol here, right? No, this is not allowed. I can't start with a number. And another reason why we say these are case sensitive is that I already have age here, right? Let's say I define another age here and I use capital letter A for this, that's uppercase A, and I set it to 45. So if I should try to print out these two, so if I should try to print out these two now you can see that I'm getting 25 and 45, right? So this is how this works. They are case sensitive. So these two names are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. So you must be very careful when you're naming your variable, so you can be able to reference it later on. So these are other ways in which you can name your variable. You can have a variable called name here, and I can set this to Andrew. So I'm calling this Andrew now. Why am I putting double quotation? The reason I'm putting double quotation here is that I'm storing this variable now as a text, right? But in programming we call it string, as a string and not a number. When you are storing a number, you don't need to put a quotation. You can just write the number like that. When you're working with a text which is called string in programming, you make sure you put quotation. This can be just a single quotation or a double quotation. Anyhow, it will just be consistent. Make sure that if you are starting with a single quotation, end with a single quotation. And if you are starting with a double quotation, make sure you are ending with a double quotation. So that's how this works. So I can also have another variable called favorite number. I can set this to 7, and can see now I'm starting with an underscore, which is called equals to 100. Okay, so this is me using variables. You can see that these two are both, like, they're both numbers, right? And These are both numbers and they are not having single quotation. And this is a string, and that's why it's having quote is like encoded. So that's why it works. And there's other type of variable you can have which is called boolean type. So I can just say it's male now, and this is either true or false, right? So I can just say true. So now this is not a number and this is not a string. This is a boolean value, and that's why I can write true or false without enclosing them in quotations. So I can print out, just go ahead and print out name, print out favorite number, and print out score. Okay, and last but not the least, print out is male. So this is how this works now. See, I'm getting Andrew 700 and true. So that's how this works. Okay. One thing I would like to show you on variables again is assigning values to variable. So let's say, okay, let me comment this out. Okay, let's say you have a variable now x is equals to 4, y is equals to 7. And you want to have another variable called z. I want z to be the addition of x and y. So what you could just see is set z equals to x plus y. And now, when you try to print the results of z out, you see that you are getting the addition of these two values, which is now 11, right? That's 4 plus 7, that equals to 11. And now, if I should just like go ahead now and I'm changing the value of z now, okay, I'm putting z again, but before I print z again, I'm changing the value of z. So if I alter the value and set to 45 here, you can see right here, you can also change the values of a variable. So now you're having 11 and 45, but we are both printing z out in these two instances here. But because we've changed the value of z before printing the second time, so we are able to get different values. So you can modify the value of variable, you can modify the data there. And I spoke about a bit about data types, and we have different types of variable. Now you can see that this is a boolean, this is an integer, these are numbers. All numbers are called integers. We also have float numbers. As like, let me just have that here. I can call this, okay, interval. So integer variables are like 4. Then you can have like floats variable here, and these are decimal numbers. These are decimal numbers, and we have strings, string variable, and these are just our text. Let me use double quotes now. I can just call this true. And now we have boolean. Okay, I'll just call this buffer now. And these are our true or false. So I can just call this false. So all these type of data type are valid. They are very much valid, and we can use them in our variables. And one other thing you could do here with this variable is that you could just say print out, okay, my my name is, so this is my name is now, and now just say name by separating it to this comma. Now we are saying my name is Andrew, right? That's because we define this variable Andrew up here. So my name is Andrew. That's what we're getting. And why are we getting this way? Is because when we're using this print statement, when you separate the values with comma, it's going to add all of them together. This is called concatenation. And we will talk more about this when we are working with a string. So you can just go ahead and print out, okay. So I have 4 data types here, right? And start with interval. Okay, I have interval, I have float var. Okay, I think I type in this pen here. I have float var, and okay, I have string var also. And the last but not the least, I have bool var. So if I should go ahead and print all this now, you can see I'm getting all this like a single line of code. So this is how you work with variables in Python, and this is how you like store your data types. And don't forget these 3 rules, always remember them. And this could be either lowercase or uppercase. So this work right or right too. So, and this when we mean they are case sensitive, age is not the same as age. So please take note of this fact here. So these are it works in variable. So that will be all for now. See you next time.